Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone.
From rainbow bangs to face piercings galore, the shock when Gen Z doesn't get hired is pure entertainment. If you've ever seen fashion collide with reality, this is it. Hello and welcome. Today we're checking out the funniest Gen Z's most dramatic job rejection moments. First up, we have a Gen Z job seeker with blonde hair, sunglasses, a septum ring, and tattoos all over her face, upset that TJ Maxx turned her down.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like, you just, like, don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had, like, more experience than you. And, you know, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough. So like they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
She says the rejection email was about experience, but she's sure it was really because of her look. The way she stares into the camera like she just uncovered the biggest scandal in retail history is hilarious. Newsflash. Customer service probably doesn't want to be fronted by a spider skull tattoo. Maybe Starbucks Goth Night is still hiring. Coming up, we've got a Gen Z warrior armed with neon green hair and more facial piercings than a keychain rack, absolutely outraged that fast food joints won't hire them.
Why would I need to take out my piercings for a fast food job? When people tell you that you cannot get a job with piercing, they are somewhat right. I've never had a problem with this before until I moved to this town right here. What the
They shout into the camera, demanding to know why a cashier job requires fewer nose rings and more common sense. The dramatic close-up makes it feel less like a job complaint and more like a hostage video, except the only hostage is her employment status. If piercing collections were resumes, she'd already be CEO of Hot Topic. Here we have a young woman daring to commit the ultimate crime, showing up to a job interview with an eyebrow piercing and nails sharp enough to open Amazon packages.
I got denied from a job because of my eyebrow piercing, and they're like, oh, my eyebrow piercing isn't high class, it isn't luxury, it isn't like I can't give white glove service because of my eyebrow piercing. And I'm like kind of confused because I'm like, what does my eyebrow piercing have to do with my ability to work? And it's like dainty, you can like not really see it that much. So I was like, okay, maybe I could just like, you know, put the bangs down. You're not gonna be able to see it. And they're like, no. Here, we're luxurious people. We cater to the luxurious community. You with your trashy ass eyebrow piercing, get the away from our establishment. That's honestly like how it came across to me. Cause it's like, what does my eyebrow piercing have to do with me doing a job? It doesn't hinder me. I don't know. Apparently I'm not high class. I'm not whatever the they want me to be. Also, my nails were a problem. They're like, oh, that bitch ghetto. Because she has long nails. She's not high class for us. Like, can we just like move past this? I could do the job with the nails and the eyebrow piercing. But apparently I'm not high class enough. I'm not.
She explains how a luxury brand basically told her, sorry babe, your face jewelry doesn't scream high class. Because obviously, customer service requires a blank canvas and soulless beige energy. She even suggests hiding it with bangs, but nope, still too edgy for the crystal goblet crowd. Imagine losing a job to not diamonds, but a tiny piece of metal. High class, low logic. In this clip, a Gen Z job hunter is serving more face piercings than a jewelry kiosk clearance sale.
But imagine how tired we are. Imagine how tired we are of it.
They sit on the couch with grandma's crochet blanket as the screen text moans, "It's so hard to get a job." Cue the dramatic lip sync, "Imagine how tired we are," followed by a smug little smirk like eyebrow rings just solved unemployment. The whole vibe is half protest, half hot topic commercial. If piercings counted as work experience, this applicant would already be the regional manager of Taco Bell. Next up, a Gen Z warrior explaining workplace rules straight from the book of I Said What I Said.
So I seen this lady in here talking about why some employers don't hire Gen Z. She was listing the different reasons why, and the reasons were valid. I can't lie, they were valid until she said it. If they request time off and you don't approve it, they gonna take off anyway. Yeah, because when I request off, I'm not even checking the schedule to see if you schedule me, because I told you I'm not coming.
She calmly breaks down how an employer claimed Gen Z takes days off even without approval. And she's like, correct, because if she asked, she already told you she's gone. No debate. The confidence here is stronger than a PTO request printed in bold Comic Sans. Imagine the shock on a manager's face realizing time off isn't a suggestion. It's a public service announcement. HR just logged out. Here's someone politely ripping the entire concept of professional standards to shreds while sipping corporate tea.
Conversation with my interns regarding facial piercings, and they were taught, just like how I was, about facial piercings, that it ruins your chance of getting a job and it's tacky and it's unprofessional. See, I do have a lip piercing and it is mentioned very often, but I do work in a corporate workspace and I've continuously worked in corporate workspaces. While I'm sure this piercing and my skin color and my name has eliminated me from so many job opportunities, I am not bothered one bit, because I don't want to go to a place where I'm judged off of imaginary standards. Because less than 40 years ago, they didn't even want you niggas in the office. There are people that are living right now that have witnessed the era where anything that was not white, cis, or Christian was not allowed in Caucasian spaces. Once you understand that these standards for professionalism are rooted in so many isms, classism, racism, colorism, you will realize that there's no point trying to conform yourself to a society that doesn't want you in it in the first place. Go to jobs where you are celebrated and accepted for who you are.
She points out that yes, she's got a lip piercing and still cashes those corporate checks, shocker. Then she reminds us these so-called rules are about as real as a Monopoly bank account built on racism, classism, and a sprinkle of insecurity. Her closing message? Stop trying to impress offices that wouldn't even let you through the door 40 years ago. If they hate your piercing, they don't deserve your paycheck. In the next clip, a masterclass in modern job hunting frustration. A young woman with purple and blue braids and a face full of piercings is stuck in her car venting about the cosmic joke known as "we're hiring."
How the is everybody hiring, but nobody is hiring? Like, y'all don't understand how many job interviews I went to, how many didn't, like, y'all just don't understand how many applications I didn't put in. And mind y'all, I'm calling these places, because, you know, back in the day, you used to quit a job, get a new job the very next day or whatever. So I'm calling around to these jobs or whatever the case may be, whatever, all the applications I had to put in for, you know, all the job applications I put in, I'm calling the companies. I'm calling the companies. They're like, oh yeah, like one place like, oh yeah, we're not pulling the applications yet. They haven't given us a green light to pull the applications. Then it's like I'm having interviews. They're like, oh yeah, you got the job. Okay, so when I'm gonna start? Like, you're giving me the job, you're not giving me no start date, no nothing. Then it's like getting annoying. Then it's like one job, I went in, I had an interview. Mind you, they asked me like 50 million questions and I did a good job. And you're telling me I have to now come back for a second interview. So it's just getting to the point where it's just getting annoying because I'm really trying. And then it's like, y'all, my motor went out on my car. So I'm essentially having to pay somebody to take me back and forth. Mind y'all, paying for somebody to take you back and forth places $20-$25 or more. Like, it's like, and it's getting frustrating because it's not like I'm trying. Then it's like, don't get me wrong, I do have a job. Like, I have a part-time job, but I'm trying to get another full-time job or whatever the case may be. And it's just getting annoying. Okay, I've had it because it's like, how is y'all hiring but ain't nobody hiring? Then it's like, I put in an application, I'm calling you, I'm ready to start working. Like, I can start working today, no shade. And nobody has said nothing. They all, oh, we're gonna give you a call back. Yeah, we're gonna give you a call back and all of this and all of that. Then it's like, one job, the site isn't even open. So it's like, so why did y'all have applications?
She's sending applications, calling companies, even showing up to fake hiring events, only to get ghosted harder than a bad Tinder date. It's like companies are running a scavenger hunt where the prize is unemployment. Honestly, at this point, the now hiring signs should just read, "Just kidding, go cry in your car." Next, we've got career advice straight from the courtroom of Judge Judy Aesthetic.
Facial piercings, unfortunately, super taboo. Regular ear piercing, not too big of a deal in the legal industry. But again, it all depends. Some law firm might let you have a small nose piercing and maybe more than one ear piercing. As of right now, most of them won't let you.
A young woman breaks it down. Ear piercings, fine. A little nose stud, maybe. But facial piercings in law? Taboo, like showing up in court wearing Crocs and a Snuggie. She even does a mini Vanna White routine, pointing to her ears and nose like the jury needs evidence. And the grand verdict? Most law firms still act like a nose ring is a felony. Professionalism is just code for boring jewelry only. Here is a nurse in scrubs casually dismantling the entire professional image myth while sitting in her car.
One thing I love as a tattooed nurse is whenever my patients and family members are like, "You have a lot of tattoos." Personal favorite is whenever they ask about that one because it usually scares them a little bit, but once I explain it and say like, "Yo, I got this during the pandemic, it's my reminder that life is short and we need to enjoy it while we have it," they're like, "Okay." But as you guys know, my hair used to be blue, like I used to have all the things that look like a red flag, and I love being able to express myself, and I think that absolutely anybody in any professional role should be able to express themselves because it's not hurting anybody. It's literally just an expression of yourself. It's your body, it's your canvas to put whatever you want on it. And whenever the patients and the family members feel a little unsettled and question me, that just makes me more excited to prove to them that I am fully knowledgeable and capable of doing the job, if not better, than somebody that has no tattoos or doesn't have colored hair. So for anybody that needs to hear it, as if I haven't made it clear enough on my page, tattoos, piercings, colored hair have nothing to do with your abilities. We should be able to express ourselves. It's our body. Life is short. Have a little fun. And if you don't want tattoos, piercings, colored hair, that's cool too. And you're just as valuable of a human as anybody else.
She shows off tattoos, piercings, and even mentions once rocking blue hair, yet somehow still manages to keep people alive. Wild concept, right? She even flexes that patients might gasp at her tombstone tattoo until she explains it's a life lesson, not a death wish. The punchline? Apparently medical knowledge doesn't evaporate when your hair is purple. Who knew the human brain wasn't color-coded for HR approval? Next, a young woman single-handedly exposed the great HR conspiracy with nothing but a nose ring and a bolo tie.
Get the nose piercing. I got offered 2 different jobs, right? And I was wearing my nose piercing for both of those. And then the 2 jobs that I applied for and I took out my nose piercing did not get offered. So get the nose piercing. It'll look cool.
She explains that she landed 2 jobs while rocking her piercing, but when she removed it for professionalism, rejection letters rained down faster than spam emails. Wild plot twist, right? Turns out, the magic key to employment wasn't hiding in a resume, it was stuck in her nostril the whole time. The grand takeaway? Forget polishing your LinkedIn profile, just polish your jewelry. Apparently the nose ring is the new MBA. In this clip, we've got a guy in his car proving that piercings aren't just jewelry, they're a full lifestyle contract.
So I was on the phone with my boy yesterday, and he was talking about if you want a good paying job, you're gonna have to take those piercings out. Nobody's gonna accept you with that on.
You're gonna have to take these off of my dead body, bro. Ain't nobody taking away my swag like that.
He calmly recalls a friend warning him that no serious job will take him if he keeps all that metal in his face. Then he flips the switch, stares into the camera, and basically declares his septum ring will be buried with him like a pharaoh's treasure. The energy, half TED Talk, half WWE promo. Moral of the story, you can pry those piercings off his cold, stylish corpse. Here's the world's shortest job interview crash course in disappointment. A young woman strolls in with glasses, stripes, and more piercings than Eclair's grand opening. Everything's going smoothly until the hiring manager drops the dreaded piercing question. Cue the record scratch, smile fading, and then boom, full-blown metal scream meltdown like she just got told Spotify costs extra. It's the perfect visual of corporate logic. We'll trust you with company finances, but God forbid you have jewelry in your face. Priorities, right? Next up, we can see a Gen Z reality check disguised as a TED Talk.
Yesterday, I took out both of my nostril piercings to comply with the employee handbook of a job that I'm about to start, and for lack of a better term, a lot of you guys are out of touch. Was I sad to take them out? Yes, but some of you guys are acting like I was cutting off my freaking arm. First of all, have you guys seen the state of the current job market? It's ass. I was extremely lucky to have gotten a job offer in my profession, in my field, and I would have done a lot more than take out my nostril piercings if it meant getting a job with a decent salary and benefits. And guess what? This job has both. Second of all, I love my piercings. I love getting them. I love having them, but I got them knowing well that I might have to take them out in the future. And I also got all of my tattoos knowing damn well that I might have to cover them up in a professional environment. I say this with a lot of love, but just because a lot of people on the internet have tattoos and piercings does not mean that they are fully normalized in the professional or corporate world. I mean, heck, a lot of servers are not even allowed to have facial piercings. Third of all, do clear piercings exist? Yes, but I'm gonna be working in person 5 days a week at a job that I'm hoping to keep at the very least a year. I will also continue to chase the stability that an office job or a corporate job offers. It just isn't worth it for me to keep the holes open just to switch out to nice jewelry on just the weekends, or keep them open for years into the future until I find a company that allows them. But really, at the end of the day, let's be honest, in this economy, yes, it was well worth it for me to take out my nose piercings for the job. And please, guys, I still have all of these. I still have all of these. I still have all of my tattoos. I'm not erasing my identity. I am just making the logical move of sacrificing my nose piercings for survival.
This girl looks dead serious while explaining she removed her nose piercings for a new job, and the way she says it, you'd think she just donated a kidney. She reminds the internet that it's not amputation, it's jewelry, and oh yeah, the job market is trash, so maybe chill. Benefits, salary, survival, she's got the PowerPoint slides ready. The real twist, corporate America won. Her nose lost, but hey, at least the tattoos survived the purge. Here we have the glamorous battlefield of adulthood. A girl in full eyeliner armor removing her septum piercing like she's defusing a bomb before an interview. The soundtrack swears she's fine, but the look on her face screams she just signed away her soul to LinkedIn. After a mini wrestling match with jewelry, she gives the world a thumbs up so forced it could qualify as hostage footage. Ah yes, nothing says hire me quite like erasing your personality for a cubicle and free lukewarm coffee. In this clip, a workplace mystery more puzzling than quantum physics, a girl asking why a tiny piece of metal in her nose is such a corporate crime. She flips her septum piercing down, then hides it again like she's performing the world's saddest magic trick, and honestly, the drama is Oscar-worthy. Imagine losing a job opportunity not because you're unqualified, but because your jewelry might offend Janet from HR. At this point, professionalism just means looking as bland as a plain bagel with no cream cheese. Up next, a job market debate hotter than the pizza one woman is angrily cutting in her kitchen.
Like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs way
even in Europe, they will not hire you. So I don't understand why we're acting so confused. It's one thing to have tattoos, and it's another thing to have tattoos. But it's a whole different thing to have tattoos with evil symbolic meaning. You have the devil and the devil's brother right here on your chest that you'll be using to greet people. Even if you want to put on and cover it. What about all this stuff that's going on your face now? It doesn't look good for the company. But I looked in the comments, and some people said she might get a job at Spear, Halloween, Hot Topic, or Spencer's. Yeah, go crazy. But you gotta be for real. I don't know why we acting so confused. I'm like, why? Granted, I do think it's because of her tattoos, but yeah, there are jobs out here saying we're hiring, but ain't hiring the nobody. But I don't think that's your problem. I think that tattoos.
The video starts with Tattoo Barbie in a car, swearing that Europe is just throwing jobs at people with face ink. Cut to our bonnet-clad truth teller, who basically says, "Girl, unless you're applying at Spirit Halloween, those devil chest tattoos aren't getting you a corner office." She waves a knife for emphasis because nothing says credible HR advice like threatening toppings. Moral of the story, corporations fear eyeliner, but Satan's brother on your chest, absolute deal breaker. Here we have the tragedy of our times. A woman rejected from a dispensary job because, apparently, the weed industry draws the line at facial piercings. The clip shows her in the car, lashes longer than a CVS receipt, metal gleaming from every angle while sad cowboy music strums in the background like it's a Netflix drama. And honestly, what a plot twist. A dispensary of all places saying too edgy. That's like Taco Bell refusing to hire someone because they like cheese. If this is professionalism, corporate America needs a contact high. Coming up, we've got a makeover montage no one asked for. A young woman slowly stripping away piercings, chokers, and personality until she looks like a background extra in a 2002 office supply commercial. The text says she's trying to appear bland and boring, and trust me, mission accomplished. Watching her pull out jewelry feels less like get ready with me and more like a hostage negotiation with capitalism. The punk soundtrack screams rebellion, but her outfit whispers Staples employee. Corporate America, where eyeliner is dangerous, but TPS reports are chic. That's a wrap on today's Gen Z job search adventures. Whether you laughed, cringed, or just shook your head, one thing's clear, personal expression doesn't always pay the bills. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe, just maybe, leave the spider skull tattoo out of the interview next time.